Malum is a horror film like no other, a tale of evil that will haunt you long after the credits have rolled. As the sun sets and darkness envelops the world, prepare to be plunged into a sinister and spine-tingling world of horror. The name Malum literally means evil in Latin, and that's exactly what the movie's all about. This spine-chilling tale revolves around a rookie police officer named Jessica Loren, whose life takes a horrifying turn when she decides to take the last, lonely shift at an abandoned and recently decommissioned police station. But this is no ordinary station. Years ago, Lauren's father died a mysterious and untimely death while on duty at the same station, and a vicious and infamous cult also met their end there. Now Loren finds herself inexplicably drawn to the station, hoping to find answers about her father's death. However, she soon discovers that the station holds more secrets than she ever imagined. As the night wears on, Loren finds herself trapped in a world of unrelenting terror. The station is no longer empty and abandoned. It is alive with a malevolent force that seems to be taunting her. Each moment that passes is filled with bone-chilling suspense and mounting horror. The paranormal events that ensue seem to defy explanation, and Loren soon realizes that she is not alone in the station. Something evil is lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike. As the mystery slowly unravels, Loren must confront her deepest fears and darkest secrets or risk being consumed by the same malevolent force that claimed her father and the cult before him. Directed by the renowned horror filmmaker Anthony DiBlasi, who made his debut with the blood-curdling 2006 movie The Plague, Malum is a retelling of the 2014 psychological horror movie Last Shift. But this is no ordinary retelling. DiBlasi has put his dark and twisted stamp on the movie, transforming it into a nightmarish vision of terror that will leave you gasping for breath. The trailer for Malum was released earlier this year, and it begins with a paranoid, apprehensive officer Loren on patrol, her eyes scanning the community with unease. As she observes her surroundings from her patrol car, it's evident that something is amiss in her town. A group of young people walk around on the street, their menacing grins and dark demeanor raising the hairs on the back of Loren's neck. In a scene that will send chills down your spine, a blood-covered, grinning young man is taken into custody by Loren and her fellow officers. When Loren enters the decommissioned police station for her solo shift, she is greeted by a fellow officer who ominously warns her that all the phones have been rerouted to the new station and that her night will likely be uneventful. However, in case of an emergency, he leaves a number for the new station on her desk. Despite the foreboding atmosphere and the history of the station, Loren insists, "I'm sure I'll be fine." But as the saying goes, pride comes before a fall. And soon enough, Loren's world will be plunged into a living nightmare that will leave her questioning her sanity. As the trailer unfolds, Loren is subjected to a series of unrelenting paranormal events that will have you on the edge of your seat. The once empty hallways of the police station are transformed into a labyrinth of terror, with each room holding a new and more horrifying surprise. As Loren's investigation into her father's mysterious death deepens, the sinister truth about the infamous and vicious cult that met its end in the same building slowly begins to unravel. Later on in the trailer, the dark secrets surrounding Loren's family history are slowly unveiled. She discovers more about her father's past than she ever imagined. As she delves deeper into the newspaper archives about a dangerous cult, Loren is bombarded with unsettling phone calls and unnerving paranormal events that leave her questioning everything she thought she knew about her father and the station. The jump scares in Malum promise to be unlike any other horror movie. As Loren explores the dark and eerie station, the tension is palpable, and she's stalked by an unseen presence that seems to be closing in on her with every passing moment. Portrayed by the talented Jessica Loren, Loren's character is relatable and likable, making the terror that she experiences all the more frightening. Joining her on this heart-stopping journey are Monroe Klein, Clark Wolf, Natalie Victoria, Kevin Wayne, and Candace Koch. Malum is actually a reboot or reimagining of a psychological horror movie called Last Shift that came out in 2014. Last Shift premiered at the London Fright Fest Film Festival in October 2014 and gained a huge following when it was released on demand a year later. Anthony DiBlasi directed Last Shift and co-wrote it with Scott Poyley. Now in Malum, both DiBlasi and Poyley are back in their respective roles. The basic premise of both movies are similar. A new police officer is assigned to work the last shift at a decommissioned station and ends up being a really terrifying night. But Malum is taking things to a whole new level. It's set to expand on the lore from Last Shift and premises to be even scarier than its predecessor. To be real with you, the movie has a lot more going on than just a rookie cop having a terrifying night on the job. As the story unfolds, we learn more about the buried details that contribute to the overall horror. Jessica's colleagues treat her with condescension and contempt due to rampant sexism in the police department and her history with her father, who has a tragic and grotesque backstory, further adds to her struggles. Despite Jessica's attempts to alert her fellow officers about the dangerous events unfolding at the station, nobody takes her seriously. She's receiving threatening prank calls from women. A long-haired homeless man is wrecking the place, and someone has even brought a pig with a pentagram painted on it to the front of the building. Meanwhile, outside on the streets, cultists and their sympathizers are causing chaos and stirring up trouble. As we listen in on Jessica's phone and radio conversations with her colleagues, we learn that the police force is struggling to trace her prank callers and provide immediate backup, as they're already busy trying to prevent the town from descending into mayhem. The situation just keeps getting worse and more horrifying as the night wears on. We advise you to experience the movie for yourself without knowing too much about the plot. And with a movie like Malum, that's probably the best approach. It's not just a typical haunted house movie, but more like paying to enter a real-life haunted house on Halloween, where you're in for a wild ride of scares and shocks. The movie takes its time building up to the jump scares and other horrifying moments, with impressive CGI blood effects and glimpses of mutilated bodies that are truly disturbing. Once the body reaches this point, it's like being lost in a dark labyrinth where gruesome things jump at you from every angle. Blood on the walls and the flickering lights. Meanwhile, in the background, there's a chorus of young women singing an old song, and hellish apparitions lurk in the shadows, announcing that they feast on angel wings. As the night goes on, you start to question whether Jessica is really seeing all of these things or if she's losing her mind. The movie keeps teasing this binary throughout, and just when you think you've got it figured out, it gives you a different, more interesting answer in the end. The jump scares in Malum definitely do their job of keeping the audience on edge and engaged. However, what sets this film apart is the talent of its ensemble cast. The actors clearly had a lot of fun with the material, particularly in scenes where they got to perform police interrogations and describe the gruesome details of ritual sacrifices with relish. These scenes are unsettlingly and effectively creepy, as the actors pop their eyes, writhe around, and even jiggle at the horrific subject matter. Chaney Morrow, who plays the cult leader John Malum, also delivers a standout performance. In one scene, he breaks the fourth wall and looks directly into the camera, attempting to instill fear in the viewer with his chilling stare and menacing delivery. All in all, Malum is an experience that you won't soon forget, and it's out in theaters now. That's a wrap for this movie. What are your thoughts on the movie? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.